Jaja Binks, Jaja Binks. Me say your humble servant, Jaja Binks, Jaja Binks. Oh, muy, I love you, Jaja Binks. Me say go Jaja Binks.
Oh my god. Hello everybody, some would say I'm the reverse. I just watched The Flash Season 9, Episode 10, A New World, Part 1. You got a little glimpse of my post-episode reaction. Oh my goodness, what an episode. This is the best episode of the season. Somehow it just blew the Oliver Queen episode out of the water. I just said that. Yes, I did. This is the best episode we've gotten maybe since Season 1. It's one of the best episodes of the entire show. And one of the most important. Holy crap. If you haven't seen it yet, of course, click off and just go watch it immediately. Go watch it right now. Because, oh my god, what an episode. Let's just start. Barry, the episode starts with all this stupid crap about Allegra, Chester, Cecile, Keone. We're not going to talk about that. Barry gets transported to the year 2000, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. He goes to talk to Singh, who's a detective at this point. He goes to talk to Joe. It's great seeing Joe back. Obviously, he's been absent for a while this season, but it's great seeing him back, even if it is a younger version. He talks to Joe. He asks about Christina McGee. He tries calling Martin Stein on the phone, trying to figure out how to get back to the present, and eventually he is attacked by Thawne, and he is knocked out, and his parents, of course, Henry and Nora, are there to nurse him back to health, Henry being a doctor. We get a really emotional scene of Barry. He's on the phone with Martin Stein, and he sees... Martin Stein hangs up, and he sees his parents across the street, and there's this close-up of Barry's eyes with Season 1 music playing. Oh my goodness. This episode... First off, I just want to say that this episode, the editing and everything, they used a bunch of Season 1 music, and oh my god, it was on point. It really made this episode emotional, and that moment was great. And then, of course, like I said, they took him to the hospital. Barry woke up, and this episode was basically him getting to spend one final day with his parents, and it was really interesting. And eventually, of course, Thawne comes into play, and we get great chemistry between Grant and Matt Lesher. It's so awesome to see Matt Lesher back in the role. He is just so criminally underutilized by this show, and this is the storyline where he just had to come into play, and he did, and it was perfect. Barry and Thawne, they have so many awesome scenes together, and their rivalry has just never been better. And basically, Thawne is, of course, here to kill Barry as a child, but he wasn't the one who came here. He apparently got transported by whatever the stone was, or at least he said he wasn't the one that brought Barry there. I don't know if he came here on his own accord or if the blue crystal brought him here. I don't know, but either way, this is that night. This is the night that Barry's mother was killed, and we have Reverse Flash and future Barry here, and it's going down. And this whole episode just leads up to that moment. And I'm just gonna talk about it. Of course, we get that scene of Barry and Thawne fighting in the Allen house, and we get the whole Season 1 fight recreated, or not recreated, it was reused footage. One thing that they did recreate, which I absolutely loved, they had Season 1 Barry come in, which was great, and they had him, open the door and see the fight. We got to see the Future Flash, again, from the Season 1 finale. Remember the Future Flash with the future suit? He stops and he tells the Season 1 Barry, he puts his hand up and he says, "Don't save her." We see that in this episode, except it's not the Future Flash that we saw in the finale. It is our Barry with the Season 9 suit, and they made an effort to edit our version of Barry over the old version, and oh my god, it just really hit home the idea that we are here. This is the moment that we as Flash fans have been waiting for 8 years, and I don't know if people are going to be disappointed that they kind of rushed through the scene. At first, I was a little disappointed, but come on, they did this. They recreated that night and they brought it full circle, and oh my God, it was magical. That's really all I have to say. It was so good. And then we got a new scene with Thawne, of course, talking to Gideon. How am I supposed to get back? And we got that scene from season 1, and then he takes his mask off, and then Barry comes and they have a really great scene, and then Barry is transported once again by the blue crystal, and Thawne is left in this time to, of course, eventually become Harrison Wells, build the particle accelerator, and set this whole damn show into motion. And oh my God, this was such a satisfying way to conclude the episode. Such a satisfying episode. And I don't know if it's recency bias. I don't know if I'm just like riding the excitement of just having seen the episode. But I genuinely think that this is one of the best episodes of the Arrowverse. I mean, the way that this episode just brought the whole show full circle, it really just, it was magnificent. It was really done almost perfectly. The editing, the music, the just the way that the whole storyline was done, the emotion, the action, the CGI was really good, and overall, it was just, it was perfect. I could have gone without the Cecile and Allegra and Keone and stuff from the beginning, but once you get past that stuff, the whole episode is just Barry and Thawne and Henry and Nora and the year 2000 and that night, and it was, I can't stress it enough, it was perfect. Some other stuff that happened in this episode was, of course, the Cobalt Blue stuff, the opening and the ending. So the first scene of the episode and the last scene of the episode, we have Rick Cosnett coming back, not as Eddie, as a new character. I'm guessing it's Malcolm Thawne. I don't know what time period he's from. I don't know what's going on, but basically he seems to work at Mercury Labs, and at the end of the episode, there's this red lightning storm. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's the negative Speed Force choosing an avatar, because of course, since the season 8 finale, the negative Speed Force has yet to choose a new avatar. So I'm guessing that's what this is. It's choosing Rick Cosnett's character, which I'm guessing is Malcolm Thawne. And I don't know how this blue crystal fits into everything, but I'm excited to see how he becomes Cobalt Blue. Speaking of the blue crystal again, it played into this episode with transporting Barry to 2000, and of course at the end it transported him back to another time. I don't know if it's the present day, but it transported him somewhere else. But it also, it chose its own avatar in this episode in the form of past Joe, and Joe from the year 2000. And we got some really good scenes with him as the avatar. Pretty scary, actually, with the deep voice, and the dialogue was really well written. And we had a fight scene between this Cobalt Blue force of nature, it seems it is, and Barry. Yeah, it was really cool. And again, we got some really cool cameos this episode with a mention of Tina McGee. We didn't get to see her, but a mention of her. We got Martin Stein on the phone. It didn't sound like Victor Garber, but it could have been. Maybe they changed his voice a little to make him sound younger. It didn't sound like him. It sounded like someone trying to sound like him. It was good enough, but I don't think it was him. We also got Rachel Rosso, Bloodwork's mom, working at the hospital. At least I think it was her. Singh asked who's in charge, and she said Dr. Rachel Rosso. I'm pretty sure she was referring to herself because it sounded exactly like her. She just seemed too young, in my opinion, of what we've seen of Ramsey's mother. She just seemed too young to be Rachel Rosso in the year 2000. But I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be her. Anyways, that's a really cool connection. They didn't have to do that, but it was cool that they did. Anyways, that's the episode. It was so damn good. Next week's episode, A New World Part 2. We got the promo. Mostly, it seems to be focusing on the present day Team Flash, which is disappointing. That could be a red herring. We could be seeing a lot more Barry next week. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Interesting stuff. We have Malcolm Thawne, or at least who I think is Malcolm Thawne. He seems to actually make his presence known to Team Flash next week, and I'm excited to see that. We have the Speed Force, the Nora avatar of the Speed Force returning, I think. And what makes me really excited, we got a few snippets of some Season 1 finale footage with Eddie killing himself and Reverse Flash being erased. So, I don't know how they're going to tie that into that. I'm just really excited for next week. I'm really excited for these last 3 episodes. But anyways, tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And post any theories you have for the final 3 episodes, because there are a lot of mysteries established by this episode and just questions unanswered. But yeah, overall, what did you think of this episode? Did you love it as much as I did? Because I absolutely adored this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my future reviews and rankings. See ya.